What's up, everybody? This is Battlefield Joe 97 here. Yes, you're looking at the title of the video. Yes, you are looking at the date of the video. This is not an April Fool's joke. I actually do have an early copy of Persona 5 Golden, the Steelbook launch day exclusive, which it looks absolutely beautiful. Like, if you open it up, it's like a landscape portrait right here. Absolutely beautiful. It has all the Phantom Thieves, and it looks exceptional. And then looking inside the box, or the steelbook case itself, you have all the Phantom Thieves in their outfits. And of course, the Blu-ray disc of Persona 5, oh shit, for the disc of Persona 5 on PlayStation 4. And you see right here the full landscape portrait of everybody in their Phantom Thieves outfit, which looks absolutely beautiful. So I don't want to hear anybody who fucking said that, oh man, you spoiled this shit for me, even though they fucking showed it in teaser trailers and the game was already out in Japan like in September of last year. So I don't want to hear any fucking horse shit of me spoiling this shit in my social media accounts, because I don't need that shit. I don't need that negativity. But yeah, I had an early copy of Persona 5 a week before, like, this Saturday. So I definitely had, like, over 35 hours of playing the game and over 2 of the main dungeons of 2 palaces. And I definitely do have a lot to say about Persona 5. Now, of course, I do want to illustrate that this isn't a review per se, but it's more of a impressions video, because I haven't finished Persona 5 yet, because the game is like, there's so much things to do in Persona 5 that I don't think I'll be able to finish it before the game eventually releases, and then everybody will be able to have a copy of the game either on PlayStation 4 or on PlayStation 3, mostly on PlayStation 4, but you can definitely be able to play this on PlayStation 3, and ATLUS has released the American version of it, well, at least released in mom and pop stores that don't give a shit and they don't have any restrictions compared to, say, GameStop, Best Buy, and all those other, like, big companies that have to do these embargoes for these releases. But anyhow, Persona 5, if I can say for a short burst, is it worth the hype? Was it worth the hype for God knows how many delays from winter 2014 when it was a PS3 exclusive to God knows, like, what, 4 or 5 fucking delays until the eventual April 2017 release for us Americans and even the Brits? Yes, okay, well, the Brits and the Europeans. And I definitely do have to say that, yes, the hype is definitely worth it. It's so worth it, in fact, that even though I already bought my early copy of Persona 5 on PlayStation 4. You see how much excitement that I have? I can't really think straight because this game is really fucking good. Like, this game is so good that even though I already pre-ordered the game through the Take Your Heart edition on Amazon.com, like in November of last year, I have not canceled it, and I will definitely be paying the price that I got for pre-ordering the thing. So definitely makes that I have 2 copies of Persona 5. One of them I already have, and one of them coming in the mail during the release of Persona 5 for the rest of the Western world. And yeah, it's so worth it that I'm definitely buying the game again through a pre-order that I got in November. So it definitely is worth the hype. The game is exceptional. The story is great. The characters are top tier, and the villains are really goddamn, like, despicable. At least the villains that with their disordered desires in these palaces itself. So anyhow, let's go into the story itself, which I'm not gonna, like, put more emphasis on because that would be potential spoilers. So of course you're the unnamed character who for some reason is voiced by the Smash 4 announcer, which is pretty funny to think of. But basically, when he was, like, in his own middle school, he basically saw this potential rape incident happen. He stops the guy and basically assaults him, but then of course the guy rats him out to the police, basically making an assault case, which then makes him have a criminal record, which then of course basically almost destroys his life. But then he gets a second chance with somebody taking him under his wing. I forgot the guy's name, but he is an old man. He does the coffee shop, basically where you live. And basically the school, Shujin Academy, where they accept you and think that, oh, they're going to try to reform you and make their school look good, or at least what the principal has it. And basically you meet various other characters that will be in your party, or at least join the Phantom Thieves, like Ryuji and Yusuke, and various other characters, which I don't know their names because I haven't gotten far into the game itself. But overall, the story is fantastic. The characters are well done. They have well integrated interactions to them, and it's an exceptional story from right now. The 2 main palaces with whatever they are. The villains themselves for these two main palaces are really fucking cool, which of course I am going to go into the gameplay itself. Now, the main dungeons for the game is basically these palaces, these distorted desires that are basically manifested within the villains of each chapter of the game. First being the gym teacher, and the second being like this artist, which I'm not going to say their names, but if you do play through this game like I did from early copies, or eventually you may have played through this game like after the video, this video release, you're going to know who I'm talking about. But definitely, you definitely have a lot of planning to go out of, because once you're going to the main dungeons, you have to traverse through multiple floors, you have to go through numerous traps, numerous enemies, and once you finally get an infiltration route in order to steal their distorted hearts, you definitely have to plan out their calling card, and the calling card is basically getting the real-life versions of these bad guys to see that, oh shit, these Phantom Thieves are coming, which then increases the security levels within the palace itself, and then you infiltrate it to take the treasure that manifests into an actual object for them to take within the dream world. It's fucking bizarre, like, trying to say all this shit, but it makes sense when you play through the game itself with the cat/human kind of Morgana kind of thing or creature. I don't know, like, this dude doesn't know he's a fucking cat or a human, and in the beginning of the game, when you and Ryuji meet him within the gym teacher's distorted reality, he, kind of like, I'm not a cat, or some shit like that. So, yeah, definitely Morgana. I definitely like him more than Teddy in Persona 4. He's kind of cute. I'm not a cat person, but he definitely makes me like cats, so that's something. But yeah, the gameplay itself, the battle system, it's much faster compared to Persona 3 and Persona 4. It definitely takes a lot of the cues from Persona 4 Golden and streamlining the battles, of getting there as quick as possible, like pressing one button to fast forward, mostly attacks to get into the enemies. But there is a kind of a system where parrying a baton, where let's say you weaken a potential enemy, you have another chance to attack them with the same thing, which potentially can make a variety of attacks, which you can end battles really quickly. Like, you can end them like in less than 10 seconds. Well, not 10 seconds, maybe less than 20 seconds when you take into account the loading in and out of the battles. But definitely, when you know what you're doing, you can finish battles in less than 20 seconds, which I'm able to do through a variety of combos. So that really is a cool thing. It streamlines the process. It doesn't make battles really boring and repetitious, because the battles end really quickly when you know what to do. And when there's a new enemy, you can potentially experiment on what kind of skills of the various personas or various gun points. And there's the one thing that I really do like from Persona 5 compared to Persona 3 and 4 that they took from the mainline Shin Megami Tensei games. Interrogations within the demons or the personas within these distorted realities out of these two bad guys, the gym teacher and this art guy. So basically, if you corner these personas or demons, you can actually force them to give them money, items, or potentially join them through these masks, where you can take control of like various numbers of personas other than your own persona himself. And that's a really, really cool idea. And then being able to fuse each persona in order to have a more powerful persona be able to use in battle through various obstacles and ways. And it really is good to have a diversified personas within your roster to be able to have various elements, various physical attributes, etc. There's a lot of strategy and thinking when it comes to Persona 5's battle system, and if you know what you're doing, you can end battles really quick, and you can actually stop the first phase of a boss like I was able to do in one of the first palaces. So it's really, really exceptional out of the amount of depth that you can have for this game itself. And honestly, I kind of like it a bit more than Persona 4 itself, which I'm kind of still halfway of playing the Vita version itself, and even Persona 3 on my PSP digital download for it. But yeah, Persona 5's gameplay is exceptional, it's well done, and it streamlines the whole process, but it doesn't feel like it's cheapening at the same time, because the enemies are still challenging if you don't know what you're doing. But if you do know what you're doing, and you know the various combos, the various abilities, and the attributes of the personas throughout your roster, including the various personas that you capture, then you know what to do with it, and that is exceptional. It is well done. There's so much depth when it comes to Persona 5. It's just really fucking good. And the soundtrack and the sound design, of course, any Persona game has fantastic soundtrack, and this has no exception to it. It definitely has a nice, rebellious, thievery kind of soundtrack to it all. definitely fantastic. The graphics are absolutely astonishing. Unlike the Sega Saturn assets that ATLUS has always used throughout most of their games, this one uses the assets from Catherine on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, which definitely amps it up better than the models that were used in previous Persona and Shin Megami Tensei games. And honestly, this should be the standard that they use for various other ATLUS games, or basically even more than that. Now, of course, there is some distorted like textures within the walls, but honestly, with this kind of game, I don't really care about what the textures and the walls and this part of the alley look like, kind of blocky and shitty. I really don't give a shit because the game is that good. And not only that, from its presentation, its art style, like Persona 5 is one of those rare instances of a game where its menus look really engaging. The menus are so fucking good to look at through the pause menu, through the title screen. It oozes with style compared to the previous Persona games, which they had their own styles, but Persona 5 amps it up with the amount of UI interaction that you have with the game itself, and it's exceptional. It is well done. It is beautiful. And honestly, even though I've put 35 plus hours into this game, I'm still playing it. I'm still enjoying the game itself, and I'm definitely gonna enjoy my Take Your Heart edition coming from Amazon on April 4th of this month. So definitely, I'm just gonna say this well in the well hearts. If you have not played any of the previous Persona games, and you have a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3, I definitely implore you to get a copy of Persona 5. I don't say this rarely. This game is a fucking masterpiece. It is exceptional, it is well done, and I definitely want to see this game sell millions of copies to get ATLUS to show that their hard work and their dedication for this game is well deserved. It definitely is worth the hype, and it definitely is worth the full price, because I'm buying this fucking thing again full price through Amazon for my pre-order. And yeah, it's well done, it's well executed, and yeah, just get your ass to a fucking store and buy a copy of this game on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3. Just get this damn game brand new, because it definitely is exceptional. It is well done, and yeah, Persona 5, potentially Game of the Year of 2017.